Hoop Shooting the Breeze, our show all about the hoop shoot. Each show we catch up with past participants, volunteers, and other friends of the Hoop Shoot program. I'm McKenna Cannon, and joining me today is Lynn Rutherford-Snow, the Virginia State Hoop Shoot Director. Welcome, Lynn.
Thank you, McKenna, for inviting me, and I hope that you and all of our ENF staff had a wonderful Christmas, and I'm wishing each and every one of you all a happy new year. We're looking for bigger and better things in 2022.
Oh my gosh, yes, thank you so much. I hope you had a wonderful holiday as well. We're talking in that little window of time between Christmas and the New Year, which is that, that week of holiday season. And it's so great that you carved some time out to join us today. It's great to talk to you. So Lynn, you've been the Virginia State Director for more than a few years now. Can you share a little bit about how you got started with the Hoop Shoot?
Well, it was probably back in 1995 when my daughter Ashley was competing in the local Elks hoop shoot programs for Charlottesville Elks 389. And then in 1999, I was appointed the local director for the Charlottesville Lodge. And then, of course, I became the local director when I transferred to Waynesboro 2270 in Virginia in March of 2020. And then I was appointed the state director at our June convention, which was 2008. And then my first real hoop shoot was that year of 2009.
Okay. Wow. That's awesome. And how long have you been an Elk?
23 and a half years.
Oh my goodness. So 23 and a half years as an Elk and 13 as the Virginia State Director. That's a long term of service. And, that's so wonderful. And do you have, I'm sure you do, with all those years of service, do you have a lot of memories or hoop shooter experiences that you hold dear?
Well, all of them are special memories, but I'll have to go back a little ways. Back in the first year that I attended the Nationals as the Virginia Hoop Shoot Director in 2009, Zeb Alford represented the great state of North Carolina as the 12 and 13-year-old Region 10 champion. And as you know, that I'm sure you all could check your records, he and I want to say a Brendan Truman, I think, who was from Utah. They tied, I want to say 23 out of 25. And so I was keeping score for the girls. And of course, once you're a scorekeeper, you have to sit still. You can't get up out of your seat during a contest. So we had to sit a little bit longer. And it ended up that Zeb, after all was said and done and all of the roll-offs, Zeb ended up with 97 of 100 free throws that he made, and Brendan ended up with 96. And of course, we hated to see either one of them lose, but it was awesome. That was a highlight of my first year being the Virginia State Director, even though I didn't have a Virginia kid in there. We did have the Zeb Alford, who was our representative for our Region 10. And so we were just thrilled beyond measure for having him, because that was pretty special. So then in 2019, that was pretty fantastic, because we had 10 of those regional champions who had perfect scores. And we were all blown out of the gym with all those perfect scores. And then, of course, I would have to also mention my first national champion was Sophia Palladina in 2000. She was 2011. And then she came back in 2014 and won the national championship again. And then I had Blake Whitley, who was the national champion for Virginia in 2019. So all of them are special, but those pretty much stand out.
Yeah, those are the memories you keep with you. Those are the ones you go back to and hold on tight to for sure. And it's
and
great
in my scrapbooks.
Yes, exactly. It's great that you mentioned Zeb, because Zeb was a member of our 2020 backboard also.
Wow.
So Zeb has come full circle and has stuck around with the Hoop Shoot program, and we all I mean, every time I hear the story of his 97 out of 100 shots, I was blown away by that. I can't even imagine being there in the gym for that. That's so cool.
And Cam Cronk that year, because I unfortunately didn't have a Virginia champion that went on to win the regional. So as we were ending the reception and the banquet that night, Cam Cronk hollered at me and he said, "Well, Lynn, what do you think of your first national hoop shoot championship?" And I said, "Wow, it can't get any better than this." So I said, if this is any indication of how my tenure as representing the state of Virginia as their hoop shoot director, I said, I'm in for an awesome ride.
Yeah. Starting off with a bang for sure, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So in addition to being the Virginia State Director, you're known around the ENF and at the national finals for sharing your fantastic sugar cookies and your wonderful spirit, of course. And we've missed having you here in Chicago for the past 2 years while we went virtual during the pandemic. So what are you looking forward to most to the return for in-person state, regional, and national contests?
Being able to get back with all of my friends and especially your Elk family, because to me, once you become my Virginia champion, or if you're another state champion throughout all their states, to me, you are a part of our Elks family. So that's the most important thing that I'm looking forward to, getting back and with all the directors and the state directors and the regional directors and everybody at ENF, and then having some of those special cookies.
I know. I think that's what I'm looking forward to most too, is just seeing everybody live and in person, especially when we've been, like we are right now on Zoom for the last 2 years. And we were lucky to see each other at convention this last year.
Yes.
But the whole cohort hasn't been together. Our family has not been together for a while. So I'm looking forward to it too. And it is, of course, the 50th anniversary as national program. So there's double reason to celebrate this spring. And we have so many years and years of memories, but what do you see for the next 50 years for the hoop shoot?
Well, for the next 50 years, I know that we're only going to grow bigger and better. And I think everybody is looking forward to celebrating with all of you all in Chicago, getting back together so things can kind of get back to normal. And I'm hoping for this next 50 years that I can at least be there for at least 20 of those next 50, because I'll be in the late 80s by then. So as long as I can get up and move and travel, then I hope to be a part of this wonderful program.
Absolutely. Yes, we hope so too. And speaking of the future and kind of what you're going to be doing over the next few years here, you'll serve as the Hoop Shoot's first ever female regional director, starting for the 2022-23 season as the Southeast Central Region 10 director. What an incredible accomplishment. We're so excited to have you on the regional director team next year. What does that mean to you, starting this position?
Wow. Well, first of all, I'm honored, and you know me, I always get emotional, so I'm going to try to be careful. But I have got some really big shoes to fill, because as you know, my boss, Jim McNitt, and his lovely wife, Karen, they have been such an asset to our program. And no matter whatever question I've had along the way, they've always been there to answer them or to guide me in the right direction. And again, it's an honor. I look forward to joining a great group of regional directors. And I know that if I have a question along the way, I can either depend on you all to help me, or I know one of the other regional directors. And also, I know that Bill Cook, Jim Doris, and Don Fosnot will be watching me from above and cheering me on.
Yeah, absolutely. It is such a great group of people, and the gentlemen in the group are just so lovely. And like you said, Jim and Karen, we have admired their leadership in Region 10 for many years now, and we'll miss them, but we're excited for their next steps too, which is great.
I know they're probably going to be doing a lot of traveling, and hopefully they can just travel right on up to Chicago to be with
Exactly.
all of us for our little alumni gatherings.
I hope so too. I think we'll have to, make sure that they can plan that into their travels in the future for sure. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to as a regional director?
Just all the new people that I'll come in contact with. And again, joining such an elite team of individuals.
Yeah.
I think I'm very fortunate.
Yes, and we're so lucky to have you. We're very excited to have you join the team and to bring, all that you offer to the table and, have a fresh perspective. It'll be really, really nice to do that.
And as long as the guys just treat me as one of the guys, it'll be fine.
I can tell you from experience that that's the case, Lynn, so don't worry. It's a good group. And, we're looking into the future. We're excited to come back to contests. And I'm wondering if you have any advice for present and future hoop shooters, maybe those that are gearing up for those state contests that are coming down the pipeline.
Well, all I can say to them is to keep practicing. Sometimes you compete for several years and you may not always come out on top and get to the nationals, but you just have to keep striving, doing your very best, and one day it'll come true. And then, of course, the ones who have already been national championships, I hope that I get to see them one day take that stage when we're at our national banquet, hoop shoot banquet, to see them tell how important the Elks hoop shoot program was to them.
Yeah, I really can't wait for that too. That's perfect advice and a great way to close off our show here. So thank you so much for joining me today, Lynn. We'll be back next month for another exciting interview. But before we sign off, the January service scorecard begins right now. If you don't know what the service scorecard is, it is a virtual service opportunity that combines service, the Elks spirit of volunteerism, and fun. And participants have the chance to win a $100 donation to the local charity of their choice. So,
Wow.
Lynn, could you please share this month's theme? I know, it's pretty great.
Okay, I'll be most happy to, McKenna. Our January's theme is self-care, encouraging the participants to check in and take time for themselves while serving in their local communities. And you can visit us at the elks.org/service to participate. And we hope that all of these young men and women will reach out and participate in this very worthwhile cause.
Yes, absolutely. We have a lot of people who have taken part and made huge strides in their community. Last month, we had the Bauer siblings who donated, I think it was over 200 pounds of food in a food drive.
Wow.
So, I mean, come out, join the fun, and do some really good work in your community. We'd love to have you. Thanks again, Lynn. Like I said, we'll be back next month for another guest and to announce the winners of the January scorecard. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you like the show, leave us a thumbs up and let us know what you thought in the comments. Until next time, best wishes.
Thank you, McKenna. Best wishes to each and every one out there.